Oh boy.
I'm partial to the strawberry.
That's my favorite, though. The lemon is my favorite.
Probably
I
the
find a
most
bunch
pleasing of those.
that
Yeah,
I
I
draw
remember
on a
being at
Sharpie.
school with those and just getting high off of those all the time. I was like, man, all right, I got the sniffy markers. Check these
I
out.
know, I love those.
Oh,
Oh, I'll put this in my head.
So here we are.
here we is.
Hello and welcome. This is number 68, maybe.
Well,
I'm pretty sure this is number 68.
we gotta remember to get Catchy on for the next one.
Yep, Catchy has promised to be on for the next one.
Who
Yeah,
has?
you get Joker. Joker 99 for the next one. For 69.
Mm.
That's it.
Mr. Adult poll for next week.
Yeah.
So are we already live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because I remember the last time it opened literally on my burp. It was great, but yeah. So I want to make sure I didn't ruin it this time.
And we're trying to smell her marker.
Yeah.
So I'll have everyone quick introduce yourselves, say who you are on the app, what you want us to call you, and something.
And something fun.
Yeah.
I don't say some things.
Yep. And a short joke, 3 lines, and it can't just be someone's name.
Oh. Okay, well, darn.
That guy's again there, yeah, that's a joke.
So who's first?
You're
No,
first.
You're first.
I'm
man.
first?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so my name's Macho Matt, 84 on the app. You can call me Macho right here, though. That's my short name. So actually, just Matt's fine, though. Just Matt's fine. And I like to, awesome is my favorite word. You'll see me use it a lot because it's an awesome word. Hey, I can't deny. And let's see here. Hang on. I'll get you guys a joke here in just a second. Let's see. Okay.
The special joke.
So the professor asked me one time, he said, what inspired you to write this essay? And I told him the due date. Okay, there you go.
There
I'm
you
done.
go.
That's it.
Let me go next before I forget my joke. Okay, I'm ronderman on the app. Ron in real life. In no way, shape, or form am I macho. So that way you will not get us confused. And my joke is, why can they not make toilet paper out of Chuck Norris? Because Chuck Norris doesn't take crap off anybody.
That's right. Chuck's the man.
I don't have any jokes. I'm screwed.
You'll have to come up with something. You've got well, one more person introduce yourself. I would hurry.
All right. I'm Annie. I'm a vegetarian on the app. Fun fact about me. Gosh. Oh, okay. I've been so obsessed with old fashions. So obsessed with brandy. So that's my thing. Actually, kind of was thinking about going out to the bar tonight so I could get one, but they're so good. I love cherries. That's why I really love them. But a joke. I'm gonna have to do a knock knock joke because this is a good one. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Smell mop.
What? Namop? Namop who? I think I said it right. I don't know.
Smell mop. Like you're supposed to say smell mop poo.
Small papu. Oh, I got it. Okay, now I hear it. I'm deaf.
Right now.
Yeah.
No, you are. I don't.
I had to do a poop joke because like I love poop. But
All right.
You do love poop. That's true.
Meet expectations.
All right. I will go first. I am first, meaning fourth here. I am Firefly5 on the app, Guyton in real life, and a joke. Let's see. My kid's favorite joke on the theme of knock knock. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Nobody.
Nobody who? Very nice.
I don't have a joke.
So now it's his turn.
I don't have a joke.
Well, come up with something.
I don't have
Come on, Justice. I got one for you, Justice. I got one for you. Ready?
All right.
Don't you think that it's messed up that you can accidentally make a baby, but you can't accidentally make a pizza? Outrageous.
Yeah, that's a crime.
Okay, I have one too. Maybe I've said this before, but have you seen the movie Constipation? No, because it hasn't come out yet.
It hasn't come out yet. Hey, I liked it. I liked it.
And most of the short jokes that I know are either geared towards, 5 and 6-year-olds or kind of dark.
You're one of those people.
Yeah, a little bit.
One of those people. You gotta say it like that.
I'm Justice.
Shout. It's right there.
Okay.
The internet makes it so that they're like right there.
Yeah, shouting. I'm his nephew. I'm not on the app.
You should be.
Yeah, you gotta fix that.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know people that are on the app, so they can help you get on.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
You don't have any jokes at all?
No, I am jokeless.
Huh.
More an on-the-spot type of joker.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where do you find a dog with no legs?
On the ground.
Right where you left it.
Yeah.
In your hands.
No.
Yeah, I dug it.
All right, so some questions. Let's see. From you're sitting at a restaurant in line of sight of the bathroom. You see a person exit the bathroom with toilet paper attached to their shoe. Do you say anything? Assume you'd have to go out of your way to tell them.
Do I say anything? I tell everyone at my table, hey, look, there's someone walking around with toilet paper on their shoe. Do I actually tell them? No, that's when I tell my son, hey, get up and go tell her that she's got toilet paper on her shoe. Because I'm still eating. I'm not going to stop eating. But I would make sure that she knew.
Yeah, I'd probably make a noise as I'd walk by and be like, "You got stuff on your shoe," and then keep walking. Very cool about it.
I would actually chase them down because it's very important that I get a picture of it to put on the internet.
Yeah.
So
that's a true story.
Just tackle them, just go around got stuff on your shoe.
I mean, at that point, I probably would tell them, but not until I get my picture. So I'm like, oh boy, this is gold.
You gotta have priorities. I got a good picture this week, Matt.
You did?
Let's see. I did. It was while I was driving.
Oh yeah.
And let's see if you can see. All right. You see where the door handle is placed on this thing?
Yep.
So I'm sitting at a stoplight, and I look over and I see that right there. And I thought, that's just poor product placement. So I made sure to get a picture. There you go. And you're welcome.
Well, I mean, you pull on his handle to get it working.
That's true. The question was, how many times do you have to pull on the handle before you open the door?
You just gotta unlock it first, and then it's wide open from there. But I see the dirt and everything, unfortunately.
That's right.
That's my curse. I got a Y chromosome.
Yeah, we got to remember that we have a minor on the show tonight. So we got
to avoid it. That's right. Wait, how old is Justice?
How old am I again?
How old are you? 14?
I'm 14.
Old enough. All right. I'll make sure it doesn't go to show of hands after hours.
There you go.
I won't go that far. I'll keep it reined in slightly.
That'll be for the next one. All right. Or blue. Oh, I'm telling the person. I don't have problems with confrontation. I don't have any trouble with that. Or Blue asks, what's the most mischievous or funniest thing you did in school? Class clown type stuff. Matt, why don't you go first?
Why don't I go first? I was thinking about this earlier today. Now, this one really depends. Like, are we talking about in school, like during school, or are we talking about like in school while I was in school and around the school, but like after school?
Well, I think both.
You think
Yeah.
both?
I think both. Let's.
In school, I was trying to think of something, and I couldn't think of anything particularly good, except that I had one of those the fake turd, the little rubber. I don't know if you've seen the little rubber turds or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they look pretty real. I put one of those underneath one of my teacher's desks, but I also included an actual little bit of like actual poo smell with it. Don't ask me where that came from exactly, but I got it on there to give it a little bit of scent. And so I put it under the teacher's desk, and he got a kick out of that. He said words that I will not repeat here. Although, you know what? I was Justice's age when I did that, because I was in 9th grade. Are you in 9th grade?
I'm in 8th grade.
8th grade. Well, I think I was in 9th grade at 14, whatever. I don't care. 14 to 15, somewhere in there. In any case, he had a good kick out of it. And then he was a blast of a teacher, though. Outside of that, though, at the school after hours, probably one of the craziest things when I was in my punk rock band. Me and my couple buddies, man, we were wild and crazy. And one night we went out to the track and field there, and we went streaking around the track. Did a lap just butt naked, and so that was one of the most mischievous things that we did there. That didn't affect anybody.
Was the stadium full? Was the track full of people, or were you out there running around naked by yourself?
It was just the three of us, but we weren't necessarily alone. It wasn't like a stadium full of people or anything like that. It was like twilight. It was like almost dark, but not quite dark. And we did hear people coming down the hill as we were getting about halfway around the track. We're like, oh crap, we got to get to our clothes, because we left our clothes just where they were at. And so we get booking it around there, and we think that they probably saw us. They didn't really say anything particularly, but we could hear them talking, and it sounded like they had seen, like, what the hell are those guys doing down there or something. So we couldn't quite tell, but it sounded like they might have seen us. But we're like, whatever. It was fun.
How about you, Annie?
Well, I'm trying to think of a few things. Well, kind of along like the same vein. I remember in like high school, my friend had like that liquid poo stuff. You know, that smells so bad. It smells awful. We would put that around door handles in the school, and it'd be so hilarious, and we would just like crack up. Another time in high school, I used to always ask people if they could touch their toes. So I'd be like, hey, can you touch your toes? And then my friend would make fart noises every time they went over. So I'd be like, and that was really hilarious. But one time in like grade school, we put pencil shavings into the heater. So all of a sudden in the middle of class, we would say, boom! And like this big cloud of pencil shavings came up, and the teacher was like, what the hell happened there? That was a good one. That was like, I think I was like 13 at the time. But yeah, those are just a few.
That's fun.
Very nice.
How about you, Ron? Anything?
The only thing I could think of was when I was a senior, I had a bunch of girls bet me that I wouldn't wear a bow in my hair all day, and they told me that I would. They would take me to dinner at the restaurant of my choice, and so by my math skills, if all I had to do was wear a bow in my hair, and I'd get to like take 4 or 5 girls out to dinner, and so I totally wore a bow in my hair, and it wasn't just like a little bow; it's like a big, huge bow.
Yeah.
And they provided the bow, but it was, I think, a big pink bow, and I'd walk into class, and the teacher would look at me, and he said, you know, what are you doing? I said, it's a bet. I said, okay. And so I sat there all day with a big bow in my hair.
Man, that's a pretty good deal, though. Like, that's a nice payoff for not too big of a.
Yeah, anything for a date, right?
Hey, I would do that. Sounds like a legit deal to me.
Yeah. So Justice, just learn from us old guys, okay? Totally worth it.
Girls' wisdom.
Totally worth it.
We did. What did they do? A lot of locker stuff. We filled the locker, like, we had those tall, thin lockers that are, about a little bit, they're about half a head wide, so that you couldn't shove someone's head in there. And they're maybe 3 feet tall. And they've got the little vents at the top because somebody thought that those were necessary. While those vents don't really do anything useful, they do make it so that you can force pudding in through straws through there. We took a couple of lockers and filled them up with pudding. There was a room in front of the band room. It was like this sort of semi-administrative whatever. The person in charge of that room was, we'll say, particularly unpleasant individual. And so there were, a couple of ceiling tiles that were removed and a couple of big fish that were just dropped up in the ceiling tiles, and then the ceiling tiles were replaced, and probably at some point or other that started to really stink, but I don't know. No real big pranks. We had a guy who drove this tiny little pickup truck, and a handful of us got together and lifted up his pickup truck and just walked it over to a different spot in the parking lot where we could park it between trees. But no, it was like one of those little, like, what do you call them, Ford Rangers that weigh nothing at all. I mean, it was, so nothing very elaborate, but still kind of fun. What about you? You're going to be starting high school. All his good pranks are ahead of him.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, but I'm taking notes, is what I'm
Yep. This wasn't on purpose, but I've almost tripped all of my teachers.
Sweet.
Yeah.
At once?
Not at once.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But no. One yelled at me, but that was about it. I'm actually a pretty good kid. Usually.
What?
Most of the time.
Well, I'll tell you how you can change that. When you get to your senior prank, what you do is you get 3 pigs and paint 1, 2, and 4 on them and let them loose in the school and just watch as they try and find number 3.
Somebody did that with turkeys at my school. Like, for their senior prank, the class before me, they did that with turkeys instead. People were, like, freaking out. And then they had fireworks on in the school.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, not the smartest, but epic.
I know a guy.
There goes a guy. That's all you need right there.
I know somebody that would definitely do that. I wouldn't do that, but I have a friend that would do that.
Well, that's perfect, because no longer is the bison going to be the national mammal. It's going to be the scapegoat. So,
Yes.
according to Macho Matt, United.
Ima asks, inspired by Phineas and Ferb, assume that you're an evil scientist that's frequently thwarted by a platypus secret agent.
So that's got to be embarrassing.
You decide to your own floating fortress of eviltude who gives you more scheming space. What would you name your floating lair?
Trump Towers.
I'm pretty sure that's what that's there for.
Yeah. I think that's some evil genius trying to take over the world. That's who lives there at Trump Towers.
That's hard to follow.
That is a tough one. I mean, all I can come up with after that one is Clinton Corporation, but Trump Towers, I think, trumps that.
I was going to say the White House, but whoever you put in there, some interesting things going on.
Yeah, that was my second choice. Trump Towers just sort of jumped out.
I would just call it the Borg or something.
Yeah, I feel like you'd want to give it a floating fortress, I feel like everyone would want to go visit, so you'd need to give it a name that was
Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah. No, you
Call
didn't
it
pick a name that made it as boring sounding as possible so that you didn't have everyone visiting.
Like
Maybe.
Representatives to the Senate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Annie, you could just call it poop. Ta-da! Nobody wants to visit that.
The whole thing.
Hey, Annie, where are you going? I'm going to poop.
Yeah,
That's
going
pretty-
to
I bet if you put a big sign on the front that said Radio Shack, you'd be left alone.
Yeah.
That could work. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we just have to put the big Apple logo on there.
Yeah, they're kind of worthless.
Internet Explorer.
Susan R. Susan R. has a request.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I know where this is going. Go ahead.
Yeah, Matt,
Get the train in the
set
station.
expectations.
I'll be back in a sec.
Don't leave me! Don't leave me with all these hooligans.
Wait, is he gonna twerk?
We need somebody
Yeah,
to, like,
yeah.
beat box, make a beat, like.
Where is he? I was trying to get it. I'm a little sick, so I can't quite do it as well as I normally do.
We would have gym
You're
class
playing
whenever
different
there would be like
songs,
just like a big group of people, and someone would be like, "Hey!" and they would just be like twerking the whole time.
The bass player of my band back in high school, he was really good at it.
You were in high school while twerking. How old are you, Matt?
Old enough.
Old enough?
31.
31, just a
Old
baby.
enough.
Just
Oh, come on now. Annie, how old are you?
My,
I'm gonna be 23.
Okay. I thought you were younger than that on the app, but
No.
then you started talking about bars at the beginning, and I was like, she's 21 or over.
No, I know, because everyone in real life thinks I'm young. Like, I actually went to the casino one time, and somebody must have thought I was definitely, like, really young, because I was just walking through, and, like, 5 people stopped me for my ID. They're like, how old are you? Like, let me see your ID. And I was like, nobody else got carded here. Like, another time I went to the bar, and the lady was like, so, how old are you? What's your name? What's your birthday? What's your zodiac sign? I was like, okay, you can just kick me. This bar isn't worth it. Like, I mean, like, you're either going to kick me out or you're going to let me stay in. Like, stop asking me, like, 800 different questions to verify my age. It's like
That's
a
something.
dumpy corner bar, and there's, like, 8,000 bars where I live. So I'm like, I can just hop and go, like, down the street. There was, like, 3 bars literally on, like, a block. So I was like, I could go anywhere.
Well, the day's going to come where you don't get carded, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm old.
yeah, so
One day.
you'll be my age and you'll be buying beer and they'll look at you and they'll say, I'm not going to card you. And part of you is going to think, well, good, because that means I'll get out quicker. And then the other part's like, well, why won't you card me? Am I, I'm too old?
Am I not young enough for you?
Exactly.
No longer young.
So, yeah, it's a no-win situation when I'm buying alcohol. I cannot win. So if they card me, it takes too long. If they don't card me, I have an old day. So.
Because, like, my hair, because in my license photo, I have bangs. I used to have bangs and, like, longer hair. And they'll, like, look, and they'll be like, the hair changed. The hair changed. And I was like, it's still me. Trust me. Nobody wants my ID picture because I look like a goofball.
What question were we on?
We're on the twerking country.
Oh yeah, we're waiting on someone to twerk.
That's like
Can
my
you guys
finger.
actually, yeah, can you guys actually see me?
I can see you. Not
Okay.
twerking. But
It's
I can
not,
see you.
well, yeah, I got to get to that position. My audience must see. I might not be, let me see. Twerk action happening here. Let's see if I can get some. Get mute.
Yes.
I don't know what you can see. Can you see?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hang on. I gotta get some. I gotta get my tunes. I gotta get my tunes.
Okay.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm hearing it now.
오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자
Well done. Well done.
Did you see me?
Well,
Class A twerker.
Yeah, it was very well done, very tastefully done, because your butt was just below the screen, and I know there are women all over the country that are bending their computers trying to get to your butt. But
I know there's a few of them out there.
but no, well done, well done.
That'll work. See if this time at the end.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You missed the twerking.
Twerking.
You can replay it on YouTube later.
Gaitu, we all twerked. It's now your turn.
Yeah.
All of us did it.
My oldest woke up, so I had to go woke up. Sorry, it seems he stays up later on these days. Anything.
I think we're up to Jenna's questions.
I think we
Yeah,
are. Alright. So Jenna asked, we had questions from last. So Jenna asks, have you ever experienced an earthquake?
Yes, I have. Oh, did you want a story or something?
Yeah,
was I? It's a true story. No shit, there I was. I was in German class at high school. I think it was 2001, the Nisqually earthquake at that time. And what happened was we're in there. Guy is showing off pictures of the Berlin Wall because he was there when he saw it. And I was at the middle table there, and then all of a sudden there was a kind of a jump because there's like actually two different waves, like the P wave and the S wave. And I'm sure Firefly knows about that. So I felt that initial jump, and I don't know how I specifically understood what it was immediately upon it hitting, but I remember yelling earthquake. I felt it so clearly, and I was already underneath the desk by the time the actual real shaking happened, and everybody else is starting to work their way down under there, and it just felt like the ground was doing like this, just kind of rolling up and down, up and down. It felt like the entire school was on hydraulics, just moving with it, and it was pretty bizarre. Luckily, our school didn't really take any damage at all or anything. We actually got out of that one pretty decent considering how big it was. I think it was, I don't know, like a 6.5 or something. Really? But it was really deep where it was, and it pretty well spared the entire Puget Sound for the most part. There was some damage in like Seattle and stuff, but I think the death toll was one person who like died of a heart attack or something as a result. So we got really lucky on that one.
Well, I mean, I was in an earthquake, but it was really, really tiny, and I didn't so much feel it as I heard it. There's kind of like a rumble, and then there were a few things that were up against the wall that sort of slid down, or things beating up against the wall, but I didn't really feel it as much as I saw other things reacting to it. But I
like
heard it.
Things rattling and stuff.
Yeah, I could just imagine that there was a lot of noise with a big earthquake like that.
There was
is there like a big rumble?
I think there probably was. I can't really remember the noise so much, but I do remember the lights. The lights were hanging down, and they hung on chains from the ceiling about, I don't know, about 5 to 6 feet or so in that classroom, and they were swinging wildly from side to side, and I think a couple of them probably made contact with the ceiling and kind of knocked some a little bit of ceiling material down. I can remember a little bit of that. I remember sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, I think the school is just going to fall down. Oh my gosh, the giant brick building. It's actually cement surrounded by brick facade, I guess, but And it felt like it was going to come down. I'm like, oh, here we are, disaster movie. So, but it didn't happen. So we got really fortunate.
Yeah, that's a big earthquake for no serious damage. Like, that's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, there was some damage to some buildings and stuff in like Seattle, Tacoma, and everything, but it was given the size of it and everything, and where it hit and everything, it was relatively minor considering everything. There's like a couple brick walls here and there fell down from buildings, things like that. Some chimneys were damaged, but yeah, it was it wasn't too bad considering.
Any of you been in an earthquake?
I slept through one. We had one in Wisconsin here because everyone was really, really happy and excited that there was one. It was super light enough where I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that it had happened. Happened in my sleep and didn't wake me up. It was, I don't know if I'd consider it an earthquake because it wasn't epic at all, but I've had a few snowstorms that are there.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Not earthquakes, but snowstorms, blizzards.
We had an earthquake here, like right where we live apparently, last year sometime. I think it was last summer, but it was at a time where we were out of town. So, and it apparently wasn't much of one. It was enough to where some people felt something, but I think part of it was wishful thinking too, which is kind of funny to say that we're almost hopeful to feel something like that, but it's just because it'd be such a novelty. The sort of earthquake that Michigan or Wisconsin is going to be so small that it's not going to do damage. It's just going to be like this kind of exciting thing,
Well, it's a bucket list item. I've lived through an earthquake.
I mean, it's just not something that could be strong enough here to do damage in any way, like to anything.
But strong enough in Michigan that you can get a T-shirt saying, "I survived the big one in Michigan."
I survived the earthquake of 2015.
That's right.
I'm going to find what that one was. Oh, man. I could tell you, it was really small. Do you remember what the magnitude of that earthquake was that was here? Was it that high? Oh, man. I thought it was tiny, but I guess not.
It was like 5.5 or something. 4.5.
Yeah, Julie's saying it was in that range.
Oh, wow.
I had experienced several that were in that right around the 5 range prior to that biggest one in 2001. About, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them prior to that. And they shake a little bit, and you're like, oh, wow, that's kind of weird, and you don't know what to think, and then it's done.
Oh, 4.2.
4.2. That's big enough for Michigan.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to find that it was like, 1.8. Most people wouldn't even count it, but we did. No, 4.2, bigger than I thought. Apparently there may be a fault here. Huh.
Yeah, that's faulty information.
But
There's no joke.
Yeah,
I caught it.
Just 40 minutes late. Good job, Justice.
I'm happy with it. I was about to say it if he didn't, so.
Yeah. What's a bad shot? Or have you been in an earthquake?
Nope. Or maybe, well, I have. I just didn't know it.
Okay. What's a bad shot? He lives like 35 miles from me, so it's probably the same one. What's a bad shot?
My earthquake was 2.8 on the Richter scale.
Okay.
Yeah. The one nearest was 4.3, actually. It was a few miles away, but that was actually decent, but it didn't wake me up.
Mine was bigger.
You went.
I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
it had to be said.
We were just impressed that ours was so big. We thought it was going to be kind of a lame one, but
I think someone's knocking on my door.
impressed with our little Midwest earthquakes.
Yes.
Not the size of the earthquake, okay? It's not.
It's the shake. It's not the size.
That's right.
How much
It is the
makes,
motion of the ocean.
There
how
you
much
go.
it makes you work.
Do you have any bad childhood memories?
All mine occurred in walking.
Yikes.
Not all of mine.
I remember when I was in preschool, I was 4, and that was when Chucky was kind of popular. And I've been I was literally deathly afraid of Chucky for until a couple of years ago. For some reason, I was so scared of Chucky, and I never actually watched the Chucky films because of what this girl told me. So this girl was like, in my bedroom, I have a Chucky doll, and it sat on my ledge, in my room. And then she's by the time I woke up in the morning, it was over on my dresser. She goes, "It's Chucky's the devil," and I literally was like, "Oh my god." Look, Chucky moved in your room during nighttime, and then and that was when I was 4, and I was just a couple years ago I finally watched Chucky, and I was it took me a long time to get over Chucky, but I remember every time I'd walk in the store and I see a Chucky doll, I would actually go out of my way to go to different aisles. I would not see Chucky. I'd be like, Chucky. That's my one memory that I actually think about every time I see Chucky, because I was on Netflix the other day. And I was like, oh, Chucky. Finally watched that. 4-year-old me would be really proud.
Conquered your fear.
Yeah, Chucky. The doll. And then I watch them and they're so awful. The worst movies ever. I'm like, I was scared of this. What?
Serious? This doll is killing everybody? What?
Right. It's so bad.
Matthew,
That's my life.
I'm sure I could come up with plenty of bad childhood memories. Let's see, without getting too depressing. Let's see. Trying to think of one. I don't know, something particularly sad. Okay. I don't know. There's a good portion of my childhood that I've somewhat blocked out of my memory a little bit because of it was just the way it was. But yeah, I kind of suffered through depression from 6th through 8th grade, that time period there, and so just pretty much that entire block really is just one. It was pretty much a giant, big, bad memory for me. And I try to use it for good and just kind of keep a positive outlook with it, but it's not stuff that I like to spend a whole lot of time dwelling on, if you know what I mean. So, this is my son right here, Nate. Say hi. Nate, say hi.
Hi.
There you are.
Hello, Nate.
Hey, Nate.
So, he decided he wanted to hang out too. So we call him the Tater. So Nate the Tater, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Mater.
Nate, do you remember any bad childhood memories?
No. You should give us a good one. You should
Yeah.
give us a good childhood memory.
Give us a good childhood memory. You got a good childhood memory? You're still a child.
I do funny things.
Okay, let's hear it.
Like
Nothing incriminating against your dad, please.
Buggy's like a game called Chugga-ga-ga-ga. It's like a game where you have to react. That goes with holding hands, stuff, and you're just singing a song, and one person's in the middle.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The Mrs. Macho tried to give him a hint to say, going hiking with Daddy. And I would agree, that was a great childhood memory, right, Nate?
Yeah, and I always like to play the game. I always like to do.
So, yeah, there we go.
Now, how old is Nate?
How old are you, Nate?
I'm only 6.
It's only 6.
That's
Only 6.
Yep.
I'm not lying. My sister's 8.
Sister's 8, though.
You're only
She's around.
And soon I'll turn 7, 10, 8, 9, 10, 10. And soon once I go 10, I won't have to be a boy still.
You'll be a young man, right?
Yeah, because I hate being bullied.
You hate being bullied? Who's bullying you?
I saw Bowie, but he never bullied me.
Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of
them.
them. Hey, give me Knuckles, bud. Bam, right there. Hey, go tell your sister to come in.
Okay.
So, anyways, yeah, that's my son.
Very cool.
I think Nate speaks the same language as my son.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Yeah.
He's talking, and I'm like, yeah, great, that's awesome.
I heard about half of that.
So I figured since he...
The only bad memory I could think of was that I was spending the night at someone's house one night. And we didn't watch a lot of TV growing up, and I remember they had some crime show on that had, like, it was before zombies. Like, this was back in the 70s. And it was like a voodoo type of zombie.
Is that my sister?
So that's the only thing I could remember.
It's kind of like my Chucky.
Yeah, kind of like your Chucky.
Okay, so now my daughter's here to say hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Michelle.
How old are you?
8.5. I'm turning 9 soon. Yeah,
And what grade are you in?
3rd, almost 4th.
And what's your favorite thing to do in the world?
Arts.
Hug your daddy, that's right. No, I'm kidding. She is a daddy's girl, though.
Yeah.
She does ballet, and she loves to do arts. She's very artsy. So.
Which I like to play video games.
And Nate likes to play video games. So now I'm going to kick them out so I can continue on. Okay. Thanks, kids.
Bye.
It was
Go have
nice
fun.
meeting you both.
They said it's nice meeting you both. Thank you for being good. They said it's nice meeting you guys. Nate, come on.
Bye.
Yeah, they said goodbye. They're a handful. Okay, so back on topic.
Like 7 years ago, we went tubing down a river, and me and my brother were in a tube, and suddenly our tube flipped, and I thought the world was going to end. Now, you have to keep in mind I was 7 years old, so it's quite dramatic.
That is dramatic.
There's another bad childhood memory.
I don't like to talk about that one. That's more embarrassing.
From last year.
Yeah, it wasn't last year. That was
last year. We were here in his house. We went kayaking. There's a small lake across the street, and it's one of these.
Pointing my leg.
Yeah, it's one of these lakes that doesn't have any kind of motors allowed on it, so it's really nice for taking the kids kayaking. And this guy came kayaking, and we thought it would be really funny. We're in maybe 2.5, 3 feet of water at this point, but it's that
I couldn't touch the bottom.
And there's the lake bottom where you can touch the top of the floor or the lake floor, but you sink in a few feet,
Mm-hmm.
So we're there, and someone's
the rest of the night.
Someone's kayak mysteriously flipped over.
You pushed it over, you jerk.
Makes for a great story, though.
And and so he's stuck in the lily pads, and he's floundering on the surface.
No,
because
I wouldn't use the word floundering.
Yeah,
You weren't there.
She's really smart. It's probably true.
Yeah, she is. I think so.
I believe it.
Victim, I think I know. I thought I'd call it a beautiful backstroke.
A beautiful back.
I
nowhere.
think we're now going to call you
My
Flounder instead of Vestas.
My foot was stuck.
So his oar mysteriously ended up, a good 10 feet away, sticking straight up so that he could go find it. And all he had to do was swim a couple of strokes to go get it, but instead he floundered and floundered.
I didn't flounder.
I mean, there were tears.
There was no tears. Okay. There were no tears.
His eyes were sweating.
Yeah.
That's all.
It was just the water from the lake coming down.
Clearly.
It was raining that day.
Yeah.
That's it.
He was stuck there for a solid 15 minutes.
It was more like 5 minutes.
Uh-huh. 3 times.
Now, were y'all both there?
That might not be the first time that had happened, though.
What's that?
So I'm hearing two different stories. Were y'all both at the same place at the same time? Because y'all.
No, he was there longer.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
But you know, he was only 13, so this was the end of the world for him.
Yes. I can understand that.
You would deadpan look.
I'm so somewhere between being a father of three kids and being a teacher of college physics, I suppose. Um, I've become a bit of a connoisseur of dirty looks. Uh, and I'm sure a couple of you at least know exactly what I'm talking about. But this guy and his siblings provided some of the better dirty looks that I ever get. Uh, from his sister, I get more dirty looks than anyone out there.
Her facial expression is a dirty look.
Have you ever ridden in a cab?
I have.
Yep.
Yes.
Again, I'm 14. I played young and innocent.
You still have a lot of time to ride in a cab.
He's 14. He does Uber.
Oh, yeah.
He's modern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The safest way.
I took a cab to a bamboo forest one time. That was cool. That's probably my only cool cab story, or destination, rather.
Every time I've ever ridden, that it would be the cash cab.
Oh,
that'd be
yeah.
cool.
It never is. No, I haven't ridden a cab in a long time. But I still hope
It's
that.
kind of cool.
What's your favorite that you've been to?
What was the question?
What?
Favorite city?
Oh.
My favorite city is DC. Love
Yeah, I was going to
DC.
say that.
Is where? Where did you
Do
say?
what? We said DC. Washington, DC.
I've never been.
Wouldn't want to live there, but I could just repeat vacation there all the time. Love it.
I would say I had to think about this for a minute, and then it was like, oh, duh. Colorado Springs. I really like it's it's small-ish but still large at the same time. It's not far from Denver, but I mean the big draw for me, obviously, because I'm obsessed with the mountains and hiking, is that it's right there by the mountains and it's just kind of nestled in there. So it's a kind of a nice big-ish, little-ish city that's just out there, and it's right next to the Rocky Mountains there, so lots of hiking available. So that's a big draw for me on that one. The other one, it's a smaller one that comes to mind though too, is it's much smaller, is Bishop, California, and that's where my friends and I, when we did a 5-day hike down in the Sierras of California, where we started and ended right there in Bishop, California. And it was a nice little town, had just about everything you need, and it was away from the rest of the Hollywood and San Francisco, Sacramento, California. It was a different side of California completely, and isolated from all that. And it was right there next to the mountains too, and so that was a huge draw for me there.
Cool. Cool. Do you have one, Annie?
Yeah, I was gonna say DC. I have like a lot of good memories and the fun times associated with that city. Yeah, just like I have so many stories that I could tell about that. So every time I'm like around my friends, I'll be like, "Oh, do you remember that time? Do you remember the time we left you on the train?" And just like different stories. Actually, I was just talking about it a couple of days ago with a friend. So probably DC. That was like the first time that I had like my own like grown-up vacation without my parents, and like I went there year after year with all my friends. So nice place.
That helps a lot. Do you have a favorite city?
Well, I really like Baltimore. Well, it had a lot of cool stuff, and it was right on the Atlantic, and I thought it looked cool. And there were a whole bunch of old towns, There are old like buildings and stuff like that, old towns. What was I thinking? It was pretty sweet.
Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with probably Sydney. I I thought that was probably the coolest place. It was very remarkably clean and outdoorsy, a lot of water, it was a good place to be. Good people.
Yeah, we wouldn't know because we're Americans, okay? So we like American cities.
Americans.
Well,
Okay.
We're gonna
We're
build a
making
wall.
America great again.
Yeah, we're gonna build a wall to keep you foreign people out, okay?
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Build a wall in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, let's see how that goes.
Exactly. We're gonna ban everyone out who isn't American.
It's gonna be huge, okay?
Huge! Trump said it would be awesome.
Terrific.
but who's going to pay for it?
Oh,
We'll
Trump
make
said he
everyone
would.
else pay for it.
Obama money. I don't know.
Sydney's gonna pay for it now that you singled
Terrific
them out.
idea.
We're gonna make
We'll
Sydney
make the
pay for it.
Australians pay for it. Just use your reference.
Yeah.
Tremendous idea.
So I have to ask regarding walls because the more I hear, the more isolationist, whatever, right? If you say along the entire southern border, like, what do you make that out of, and how long does that take to construct?
I don't know. Let's ask Russia. They built the Berlin Wall.
Yeah,
They know if it.
so well though.
They did that almost overnight.
Great Wall of China.
Great Wall of China.
Well,
Those guys are dead.
Yeah.
That can be done.
I figure since Mexico's paying for it, they get to decide what it's made out of, right?
That's right.
That could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Gonna
Maybe they'll make a wall out of tacos. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I was thinking sombreros. I mean, they're tall enough. Just kind of, alternate stack them, be like a chain link fence, but really big.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I think it might be a wall made out of leftover Trump steak.
That could
Yeah.
be it.
Yeah.
There's got to be a pretty good stockpile of that, right?
I should.
East Coast or West Coast beaches?
Has anybody been to both coast beaches?
Yeah, I have. I've been,
So you're-
yeah, north and south on all of them. Well, okay, so if you want fun in the sun and warm water, then East Coast, Southeast specifically, like Florida, that down there, it's pretty nice because you got the Caribbean water. If you, anywhere on the Pacific, all the way down to Los Angeles or San Diego, up to where I live up here, the beaches, like down in California, yeah, you get lots of sun and stuff, but the water is a lot colder down there. Just the Pacific water that we have all up and down the West Coast is very cold. So swimming in it is not as pleasurable as, like, say, over in Florida. I'm less experienced with it up on the northeastern side, but that's probably not too much different from what it is over here in Washington, except that I think the water is probably a little bit warmer there due to the Gulf current down there. So there is my non-expert opinion. I know Stiletto Miss would say, "You are not an expert." I'm not an expert, so I have to throw that out there. So sorry, I had to throw a little jab out there, just a small one.
But yeah, the only Pacific beaches I've been to were at Waikiki, so I don't know that you can really count that.
Yeah, that's a different type of Pacific Ocean there.
Yeah,
or West Coast.
That was a pretty cool beach, but other than that, I'm all East Coast over here.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of a sucker for Midwestern beaches, actually, so I'm going to totally ignore your two options. But I really do like Midwestern beaches. I like to see, well, because I live like right on Lake Michigan, so I love to see, the water is beautiful, the beaches are really kept up really well. So I imagine it's like that everywhere else too, but I don't know, there's just something nice about seeing people like kayak, everyone coming around, hanging around, because the beach is really special for us because you can only use it like 2 months out of the year. So
That's true.
I think just for like that community and home aspect, I really like Midwestern beaches the best.
Well, I use Lake Michigan 2 weeks out of the year. The smaller lakes, though. Those ones, like Lake Charlevoix, that one's awesome.
They're all the smaller ones, but they're like the beach isn't as nice. Like in all the little lakes, because I go to like little lakes all the time, but it's like kind of the water's like dirty and mucky, and that's why I'm like I like Lake Michigan. I like kayaking there. I did dragon boat races in Lake Michigan, so
Wait. Dragon boat?
yeah.
You're
It's like
gonna
a
have to
huge boat
do
where you have
that.
like 24 people and you're all like in sync rowing,
Uh-huh.
and you have to keep count. You're like 1, 2, 3. I was on a dragon boat racing team.
So is this a common thing up there?
We all have ponds.
It's like a special, where I'm from, it's like a special event. It happens like once a year, but you practice obviously a few weeks beforehand. So it's like
Obviously.
there's like a big like tournament, and then they bring like the professional dragon boat racers down to train everybody.
Professionals. Okay.
Yeah, they're really intense because you have like a drummer. It's like boom, boom, to keep count.
That sounds like
It's
fun.
intense dragon boat racing.
Well, I
You
hate
gotta
to
get
run.
real deep. You're like, ugh.
Whoa.
That was pretty cool. Well, I got to get going, so I'll bid you guys farewell and good night. Ooh, I want to see. What is it?
Yeah, that's it.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
That looks pretty fun.
Pretty crazy.
Well, that's pretty cool stuff. Well, good night, guys. I got to get going.
All right, Matt. Thanks for
Thanks.
stopping by, man.
Yeah, no
Nice.
problem. Been fun.
Sort of.
Thanks.
Blah, 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 blah. Something like that. That's all right. Okay, bye.
And say we'll do just a little bit more, but I think we're all on this end, getting close to the end. Has your basement ever flooded?
Yep.
Yep.
Only one time.
So I found out that basements aren't really a thing everywhere. Like there was
Yes, me
someone I was
too.
talking to who was like, oh, it's gotta be nice to have a basement. Yeah, I guess, we like it, but I thought everyone had basements. Like I didn't realize that was not as common as I thought it was.
Now, I've lived in probably 8 or 9 houses, and it wasn't until I moved to my current city that everybody had a basement. Like
Really?
in Charleston, I lived in Charleston, South Carolina for a while. You can't dig to make a basement because you'll hit water. Most of South Carolina is just sand, and so nobody in South Carolina has a basement. So in Raleigh, we didn't have a basement. I think, but most everybody here in Winston-Salem does. But yeah, our basement flooded 3 times in the first 5 years we lived here. Always with sewage.
Oh.
Really nice. And we finally found a pipe that had bust between here and the street, and roots had grown into the pipe, so they had to dig it out, and hadn't had a problem since. But yeah, that's always a good time when you go down to the basement and you find poop, floating around in your basement. That's nice.
Oh. No, we've had the place we lived before this. The place we had before this, the basement would flood, and that was not pleasant. But there were a lot of unpleasant things that were going on there. Other than that, I think every place has been just fine. Although I guess we haven't had a basement in a little while because we've been in apartments before that, and apartments don't really have basements.
Nope.
But I think the last place that we lived was the only bad basement experience I've ever had. Let's see. Let's do I don't know. One more? You up for one more? She asked about pizza. We'll count it as a two-parter because they're both good questions. Do you fold your pizza, and how do you feel about deep dish?
I'm a folder. I fold. Well, actually, like if you get a big like slice, because there's a place called Ian's in Milwaukee and Madison where they have like really huge like pizza slices, and you eat the first few bites because they can fit in your mouth, and after that you fold it like a taco. But so I do both. I'm a folder and a not folder, unfolder.
Okay, question. Can you fold a deep dish?
Not if it's good deep dish. There's no way.
No, you can't.
I mean, most of what I eat is Papa John's, so we don't really do deep dish. I do like the thin crust Papa John's.
But because because you have like the sauce on the top, so that's like really weird to fold over. Just like for it to get like all messy on you. You don't want to like fold a pizza that's obviously deep, but then like fold it to have sauce squirt out everywhere. It's like not the best way to eat a pizza.
Yeah, there are a couple restaurants down here that you can buy really huge slices, and you just about have to fold those. I just don't eat very.
I'm not a pizza folder. It's not something that I've ever done. It's not something that I'm likely to do. I just don't have a reason to. But I do prefer deep dish over anything else. And really, almost the deeper the better.
That's what she said.
There you go. Like we'll I don't know. If I can get pizza that's a good couple inches deep, I'm all about it.
Wow. Yeah, I've not had a deep dish pizza in a long time.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually to be like I've had deep dish pizza in Chicago, so I've like experienced the real deep dish pizza. I'm a thin crust pizza person all the way. I don't know, I just don't really feel deep, and I love pizza, but deep dish pizza is not my thing. I like thin crust with as like little sauce as possible.
Oh, I'm the opposite.
I
Very
hate
thick
sauce.
crust, lots of sauce.
I don't even know where I would go to buy a deep dish pizza.
What's that?
I wouldn't know where to go to buy one. So
You just have to come out here and visit the Midwest.
It's true. I mean, we've got a 2-hour drive to Chicago.
it's pretty much all you can buy in Chicago, right?
You can probably buy other stuff, but I mean, why would you?
Buy a Blackhawks shirt, but that's probably the only team we're
Yeah,
supporting.
but they don't taste very good. But do you fold the Black Hawk shirt before you
No,
use it?
you could.
But I think
Have a nice evening.
I think we are gonna get going. We're doing food things and stuff too, and it's probably about it from where I am. I think this is all I've got.
That's all you got?
So
Cool. Nice being back.
thanks for coming back.
No.
Good to have you. Good to have you too, of course, Ron.
Yes.
You know this, and we will see everyone next time. That's it for tonight.
All right. Night night.
Yeah.
Goodbye.